Good evening, everybody. The other day I went on Karen's plot and there was a load of last year's beetroots which were going to seed. I pulled them up, they didn't do very well. I probably mentioned it that I had this packet from a pound shop with 6 different types of beetroots in. Well, they've not done as well as a normal beetroot, so I won't be doing this again this year. I'll be buying individual packets and doing them. But anyway, we've recently come back from Cyprus and there was some very nice pickled beetroot on as a side dish. Whilst researching this, I found another recipe, and today I'm going to do 2 pickles, but they're both going to be very, very similar, so I'll only show you one. And I'm not going to show you the beetroot one, although it will use beetroot. The beetroots got off Karen's plot are in the oven below me, roasting. I'm roasting them because it adds extra flavour and they don't bleed out so much when they are pickled or boiled. So let's get on with it and I'll show you what I've got. So, right, we'll focus on the working question. I have here 2 jars for the pickling, for one of the pickles anyway. Fill with boiling water just to sterilise them. I have 750 millilitres of water, 70 grams of sea salt. Suppose you can use any salt, but I've seen something that says table salt doesn't do very well because of some of the additions makes it greyish, so that's that. I have 2 bay leaves, 2 chillies, 3 cloves of garlic, 250 millilitres of white vinegar. So we'll get on from there. First thing to do is to make the brine. So pan on, water in, salt in, and gently warm it to dissolve it. Bay leaves in, chillies in, and finely sliced garlic in. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to peel the turnips and cut them into battens, about the size of a French fry. So you don't want to watch me doing that, so I'll be back in a minute. Right, let's continue. Got the 2 jars, they've been dried. It's still quite hot. I'm going to cut these turnips into battens and put them in the jars. When the beetroots are ready, I will put a couple of battens of beetroot in each jar. This apparently, and I'll show you the end result, gives an electric pink colour and presumably adds a little more flavour. So that's that. It's thirsty work, this. Very thirsty. The oven's on, it's a very hot day. So you'll pardon me indulging myself. I won't drink the vinegar, I'll drink this. Incidentally, you may remember some time ago I mentioned that we had some strawberry jam that hadn't worked out right. It was quite runny. We tried a different process and Pauline doesn't like it runny, so we had quite a few jars. So I converted it into this. This is my own invention, strawberry wine jam, and it's been in a corner in a big bucket bulk aging for 4 or 5 months, and I thought I'd try some. You can just got that hint of strawberry on it. It's like a very light, dry sherry. It's quite pleasant actually, so bear that in mind. If you've got jam that doesn't work, right, and it's not rotten, you can have a go at turning it into a pleasant wine. So it's not always wasted. Now let's get back to the job in hand. Incidentally, let us remember the old adage, you only get cut when you're using a blunt knife because you struggle with it, so a sharp knife is a good thing. So I'll carry on with this. Right, let's continue. I have here one of the beetroot that's been roasted. It's a small one. The big ones are not cooked yet, and this one's still quite hot, as you can see. The fact that I'm being very careful with my fingers, but it's cooked. Get the skin off. Don't want the skin. And what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to cut this. It's still relatively firm, it's not soft, but it is cooked, it's steaming. Now I'll put several of these in each of these jars. Obviously I'm going to balance the number, large jar, small jar, etc. And there we are. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the vinegar to the brine. I'm going to take a bay leaf and put a bay leaf into each of these. Now these are fresh bay leaves, they've just come off the bay tree in the back. A chilli, which were dried from last year, because you remember we had them all hanging all over the place. And I'm going to try and separate out some of the garlic to go in each to try and even it up. And what I believe is that the best thing to do with this now, when I've put the brine in, and I will be putting the brine in a second, is to put it in a coolish place. For me, it's going in the garage. I'll pour it in here so it makes it easier to pour for about a week, and then you can store it in the refrigerator and it'll store for about 6 weeks. For the first week it'll be quite strong, then it will mellow and improve. So I hope there's enough of this brine. I'm just working off the quantities. Whoa, that's perfect. Oh, incidentally, the turnips, it's approximately a kilo of turnips. It's 750 ml of water and 250 ml of vinegar. And there we are. So there we are, pickled turnips. Now you see, you're already developing a little bit of a pinkish coloration in the fluid. I believe the end result is the turnips go to an electric orange colour. That should be interesting to see. These are now going to retire to the garage for a week, and I will show them you on a later plotting along, even taste them on a later plotting along. as we've done with the diminishing strawberry jam wine. Now that's an unusual one. I've never heard of that before. It's just an experiment. You may wish to try it with any other wines. Thanks very much. There we are. After a week, there's the pickled turnips. You can see them, quite a healthy colour. Open it up and let's see what we've got. See the chilli in there, turnips.